As many of you may know, on the 1st of April, a super secret stream took place in the Monachopsis community. However, this stream has been deleted, of course, since it's super secret, but I will be sharing my story as a frontline soldier of the MSSS or Monachopsis Super Secret stream. This is a documentary documenting the super secret Monachopsis livestream that occurred yesterday or on the 1st of April. In this documentary, I have split the stream into 4 phases, which I will be going over as a soldier on the front lines of the MSSS or Monachopsis Super Secret stream. Phase 1. This first phase went off without a hitch, and the Big Copses was only expecting 3 viewers at this point. However, people started joining in quickly, and this phase is by far the shortest and has only lasted a few minutes. However, at the end of this phase, the end of this phase is marked by the arrival of some prominent figures such as Martin, Ferric, Phone, and Ovensink. Phase 2. Phase 2 started. Phase 2 was chaotic and fun. People asking questions and sharing stories. Of course, Ovensink fucking repeated every story 5 times until it was eventually mentioned by the big copses. It was in this phase that the big copses made a noise resembling a horse. In response to this, Ovensink commented, "My horse and the Red Dead Redemption 2 when I run it off a cliff," which introduced everyone into the Monachopsis Frank sesh, where everyone straight up just tried their shit. Later, another horse noise was made, where Ovensink commented, "Genghis Khan's horse" after getting Swiss cheese, referring to how Temujin, more commonly referred to as Genghis Khan, even though it's Genghis Khan, had his horse killed in one of the 2 battles he ever lost in his conquest of Asia, starting his villain arc. Following this, Ovensink sharing that he tried to detonate a World War I artillery shell in the middle of a museum in Ypres. Actually, this was a bit of an inconsistency. It was actually Dixmude or Dixmude, as the Azertoren. However, the attempt failed and everyone just looked at him. This gives us a great view into how truly demented, twisted, and fucked up the Monachopsis things are. As one of them recklessly tried to attempt terrorism, fully believing it would work, and also kill himself, you know. After this, people started talking about politics and Kirk, informing each other on politics, etc. Interestingly, the Monachopsis links still show impressive unity, although politics are often a dividing topic as shown in American Thanksgiving dinners. However, the topic of politics didn't divide the Monachopsis links, but instead brought them closer and more unified, proving that even though they're crazy, weary, sick, and delirious, they still understand right and wrong. Furthermore, the Monachopsis links observed how the conversation went from horse noises to smoking is bad to politics. However, this peace would soon be broken. Shortly after this, the Monachopsis 9/11 happened. This incident was so long I'll be classifying it as a subphase. Started in it started innocently with Monachopsis stating that she had to leave for a bit. I think it was for the bathroom or some. Never matter. A few seconds after the big copses went silent, Ovensink made a comment, "Time to put my phone in my left hand," or something freaky like that. This started a chain event of freaky comments trying to goon in the chat. This event saw the peak of the unholy trinity, Martin, Ferric, and of course, Ovensink. Martin and Ovensink notably hopped on Jerkmate several times, and Ferric and Phone User would soon join in, leading to this quartet going for a 2v2 in Jerkmate, Martin stating that he's a Diamond 2 in Jerkmate, and Ovensink revealing that he's Platinum 3. This goon sesh would go on for a few minutes, until Monachopsis returned, and the gooning ceased. Then the big copses revealed that she had been reading the chat this whole time, because she was just silent. She wasn't actually away from the chat or anything. No one realized that. The Great Goon marked the end of Phase 2. Phase 3 still had the ghost of the Goon looming over it, but it was a lot calmer. As a soldier, I remember little about this, but this was the start of the OSP arc, or Ovensink Piss arc, because Ovensink would state that he needed to take a piss, but he didn't due to FOMO. This phase was a lot calmer. However, this was Ferric's peak, and the unholy trinity was still freakying. This phase notably saw the Monachopsis links evolve into a philosophic society as they started showing signs of great philosophic potential, starting with Monachopsis, or a commentator stating that the Monachopsis links should buy Columbia and all move in together or live in the same room. Monachopsis then stated that she'd be a horrible roommate to live with. Following the Monachopsis purchasing of Columbia proposal of 2026, Ovensink stated, "Is it really Monachopsis if we're all together?" Furthermore, Ovensink proposed that maybe the real Monachopsis are the friends we made along the way. Then, the Ovensink pissing art truly started. Also, Ovensink asking if Monachopsis is your power, whether you're without it. Following this, the Monachopsis language entered its own Cambrian explosion. It's also important to state that a small sub-arc started of people saying what they thought SMH meant. Some persons said, I honestly can't remember it. But all Monachopsis links didn't understand SMH as shaking my head the first few times I heard it. Me personally, I thought it was sexy men hot, or no, singing men hot, as I stated, but hungry men think of food. Following this was the okay, I'm just reading the script. Following this, the Monachopsis language entered its own Cambrian explosion, once again jump-started by yours truly Ovensink with BBC Copses or BB Copses. Then Ovensink started spamming this, and after about 10 minutes of this, the chat started spamming it too. Then the Monachopsis link started chanting Monachopsis and BB Copses. I'd like to add that Monachopsis was coined by Ovensink under a relatively old Monachopsis community post. Also, it's important to note that Meowing Chips unfortunately developed stage 4 Alzheimer's and kept asking the Big Copses if she had a full body OC drawing, even though Big M posted that image a few weeks ago. At this point, Ovensink pissing situation developed to the point Big Copses started mentioning it. This also marked the decrease of the Unholy Trinity's activity. Eventually, Ovensink left to take a piss. Upon returning, the MSSS had ended, and the second stream started. Ovensink then commented in outrage, "I take one piss and this is what I come back to?" Eventually the stream 2 ended and Ovensink retired from gooning in the chat and go watch the other streams yourself or some. This has been the MSSS documentary. Thank you for watching and stick around for my other content soon.